Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Look through a book or other written material. He thumbed through the report. A convex molding having a cross-section in the form of a quarter of a circle or of an ellipse. Feel or handle with the fingers. The thick, short innermost digit of the forelimb. Travel by getting free rides from motorists. The part of a glove that provides a covering for the thumb. Look through a book or other written material. Throw or toss with a quick motion. Flick a piece of paper across the table. Cuz to make a snapping sound. A form of entertainment that enacts a story by sound and a sequence of images giving the illusion of continuous movement. Shine unsteadily. The candle flickered. Flash intermittently. The lights flicked on and off. Twitch or flutter. The paper flicked. Cuz to move with a flick. He flicked his bic. A light, sharp contact, usually with something flexible. He gave it a flick with his finger. A short stroke. Remove with a flick of the hand. Touch or hit with a light, quick blow. Flicked him with his hand. The act of flipping a coin. Look through a book or other written material. Reverse, a direction, attitude, or course of action. An acrobatic feat in which the feet roll over the head, either forward or backward, and return. Cuz to go on or to be engaged or set in operation. Sports. The act of throwing the ball to another member of your team. Lightly throw to see which side comes up. I don't know what to do. I may as well flip a coin. Turn upside down, or throw so as to reverse. Flip over the pork chop. React in an excited, delighted, or surprised way. He flipped when he heard that he was accepted into Princeton University. Marked by casual disrespect. A flip answer to serious question. Go mad, go crazy. He flipped when he heard that he was being laid off. Throw or toss with a light motion. Flip me the beach ball. Toss with a sharp movement so as to cause to turn over in the air. Cuz to move with a flick. A dive in which the diver somersaults before entering the water. A sudden, quick movement. With a flip of the wrist. Hot or cold alcoholic mixed drink containing a beaten egg. Move with a flick or light motion. Look through a book or other written material. She leafed through the volume. The main organ of photosynthesis and transpiration in higher plants. A sheet of any written or printed material, especially in a manuscript or book. Hinged or detachable flat section, as of a table or door. Produce leaves, of plants. Turn over pages. Leaf through a book. Look through a book or other written material. A Berber living in northern Morocco. A jazz ostinato usually provides a background for a solo improvisation. Play riffs. Look through a book or other written material. Stir up water so as to form ripples. A small wave on the surface of a liquid. Twitch or flutter. Shuffle. Playing cards, by separating the deck into two parts and riffling with the thumbs so the cards intermix. Shuffling by splitting the pack and interweaving the two halves at their corners. A convex molding having a cross-section in the form of a quarter of a circle or of an ellipse. A convex molding having a cross-section in the form of a quarter of a circle or of an ellipse. The length of breadth of a finger used as a linear measure. Examine by touch. The customer fingered the sweater. Feel or handle with the fingers. Finger the binding of the book. Any of the terminal members of the hand, sometimes excepting the thumb. Her fingers were long and thin. Indicate the fingering for the playing of musical scores for keyboard instruments. One of the parts of a glove that provides covering for a finger or thumb. Search for on the computer. I fingered my boss and found that he is not logged on in the afternoons. The thick short innermost digit of the forelimb. A period of time spent in military service. An unforeseen obstacle. The state of inactivity following an interruption. To hook or entangle. The uneven manner of walking that results from an injured leg. Walk impeded by some physical limitation or injury. Jump vertically, with legs stiff and back arched. Travel by getting free rides from motorists. Any obstruction that impedes or is burdensome. A connection between a vehicle and the load that it pulls. A knot that can be undone by pulling against the strain that holds it, a temporary knot. Connect to a vehicle. Hitch the trailer to the car. Travel by getting free rides from motorists. Examine or consider with attention and in detail. Please peruse this report at your leisure. A decorative strip used for ornamentation or finishing. A decorative recessed or relieved surface on an edge. The act of creating something by casting it in a mold. Sculpture produced by molding. A preliminary sculpture in wax or clay from which a finished work can be copied. A decorative strip used for ornamentation or finishing. A decorative recessed or relieved surface on an edge. Sculpture produced by molding. A preliminary sculpture in wax or clay from which a finished work can be copied. A distinguishing style. This room needs a woman's touch. Make a more or less disguised reference to. Consume. She didn't touch her food all night. The event of something coming in contact with the body. He longed for the touch of her hand. Be relevant to. A suggestion of some quality. There was a touch of sarcasm in his tone. Have an effect upon. The act of putting two things together with no space between them. At his touch the room filled with lights. Be equal to in quality or ability. Your performance doesn't even touch that of your colleagues. A communicative interaction. He got in touch with his colleagues. A slight attack of illness. He has a touch of rheumatism. Affect emotionally. I was touched by your kind letter of sympathy. The faculty by which external objects or forces are perceived through contact with the body, especially the hands. Only sight and touch enable us to locate objects in the space around us. Tamper with. Don't touch my CDs. To extend as far as. The chair must not touch the wall. A slight but appreciable amount. This dish could use a touch of garlic. Be in direct physical contact with. Make contact. The two buildings touch. The sensation produced by pressure receptors in the skin. She likes the touch of silk on her skin. Color lightly. Cause to be in brief contact with. He touched his toes to the horse's flanks. Comprehend. He could not touch the meaning of the poem. Deal with. Usually used with a form of negation. I wouldn't touch her with a 10-foot pole. Deftness in handling matters. He has a master's touch. Make physical contact with. Come in contact with. She never touched her husband. Perceive via the tactile sense. Helen Keller felt the physical world by touching people and objects around her. The act of soliciting money, as a gift or loan. He watched the beggar trying to make a touch. The feel of mechanical action. This piano has a wonderful touch. A journey in a vehicle, usually an automobile. Have certain properties when driven. This car rides smoothly. Copulate with. Sit and travel on the back of animal, usually while controlling its motions. Did you ever ride a camel? Be contingent on. The outcomes rides on the results of the election. Harass with persistent criticism or carping. Don't ride me so hard over my failure. A mechanical device that you ride for amusement or excitement. Be carried or travel on or in a vehicle. I ride to work in a bus. Be sustained or supported or borne. Climb up on the body. Shorts that ride up. Continue undisturbed and without interference. Let it ride. Keep partially engaged by slightly depressing a pedal with the foot. Don't ride the clutch. Lie moored or anchored. Ship rides at anchor. Move like a floating object. Ride over, along, or through. Sit on and control a vehicle. He rides his bicycle to work every day. The act of concealing the existence of something by obstructing the view of it. The work of applying something. A natural object that covers or envelops. Under a covering of dust. An artifact that covers something else, usually to protect or shelter or conceal it. The act of protecting something by covering it. Ovalo molding between the shaft and the abacus of a Doric column. The handwear used by fielders in playing baseball. Boxing equipment consisting of big and padded coverings for the fists of the fighters, worn for the sport of boxing. Handwear. Covers the hand and wrist. The nail of the thumb. The abductor muscle of the thumb.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.